Colin, the conference is done and dusted. Your first conference since taking over as referee-in-chief in April. How first impressions, how the conference went, first of all?
I think it's went good, Craig. Our main objective was to try and get back to basics and try and get everybody collectively together. I think pre-COVID, via COVID, and then trying to do it the last 2 years has been a bit of a juggling act, but I think this year's been a great success in the fact that we've had a good uptake in attendance.
Yeah. I wonder the things about, which is possibly unique to the UK referee situation, is you've got everybody here from level 1 right up to elite, so your new guys can see the elite guys and vice versa, and there's a lot of communication throughout the level, so they've got their level specific stuff, but the collective, everybody being here is fantastic.
Yeah, and I believe that's the way forward for us, because for these younger officials coming into the system, it shows that there's a career pathway. It also shows that there's no segregation between the association, the section, and that everybody's there to help each other. And one of our senior officials tapped on it earlier, where they said, if you're ever at a game, feel free to come in and chat to us, and whatever else. Is a great thing for some of the younger officials to have that rapport with senior officials, and even some of our officials that are doing IHF. And the kickback of that is that they're learning off our more experienced officials.
Yeah. A couple of highlights maybe of this weekend. Obviously the introductions included the new rule changes. People might not be aware there's a new rule book every year from IIHF now, and a couple of changes which will impact referees, but also the teams. And the biggie, I suppose, people will need to know about is the removal of a match penalty as a sanction. Yeah,
so for a long time we've been trying to align ourselves with the IHF. So the IHF this year have decided to take away the match penalty, which takes a lot of onuses off the game night official, because then it's down to the M&A and the discipline for that M&A to decide supplementary discipline, where it'll allow our officials to focus more on their game and not be under pressure of a backlash of a match penalty where subsequently somebody would miss the automatic next game. That's now out of our control. We call the rule book 5 games maximum we can give, and then it is up to the discipline for the varying associations to act on.
Yeah, and on the back of that, it was good to see this morning on day 2 the Mike Maidens from the IIHA, who heads up their new discipline department of player safety, came in to explain how it's going to work. So already the work you and Michael have been working with him in ahead of this, but working together with the likes of the IIHA and the associations to kind of feed into their processes.
Definitely. For years it's been a case of we'll have in-house rules. So I think this year, with the changes in the rule book and trying to align with IHF, the EIHA taking a stance with forming the DOPS programme. We have to have cohesion, and it needs to be across the board. And I think we've set our stall out right at the off to say, right, let's work together, make sure we're all on the same page, and then try and drive it forward from there.
Yeah. Also on the Sunday morning we heard from Andy Dalton and Amy Lack, who's kind of been at the top division of the IHF. Obviously you mentioned Liam Sewell's here as well. Holly Neenan did an 18s top division. So you were talking about the pathway earlier, so a visible sight of the pathway that is available to even the new officials coming in, they can see it is achievable.
100%. I fully believe that our programme, for a small nation, we push well above our weight in IHF, and that's evident with Liam just done men's worlds, Amy just done women's worlds, Daltz has just done 1A, Danny's pushing, so we've got a lot of potential there, and as you say, it's great that they're integrating with the younger officials and saying, actually, here's how we can get that pathway, and it also lets the younger officials see that, IHF isn't just a dream. And as I touched earlier with you, when you get to that level, for somebody from UK to be on that world stage and officiating a game where you've got NHL players and what have you, world-class players, it's a great experience and a great achievement.
Yeah. and that pathway, like you say, it's something it's been developing over the years, but now again it's your work, and not just with the associations in the UK, but in your report upwards to the IIHF as well, and their new programme that's come in the last few months as well, the Officially Cool, which makes, like, throws a spotlight on officiating. That can't be a bad thing either.
100%. It just highlights, you know, collectively, worldwide, you know, we're all on the same page, where everybody's buying into it, and they're trying to create that persona that there is avenues outside of hockey, and there's a great career path to have in officiating. This year, the IHF directive has went with C licences to try and integrate younger officials in and get them to see what's involved in being an IHF official, and I think that's great because it gives them an insight into what's necessary and what's required to achieve better things at the IHF.
Yeah, and that's something that you can, as the home association, you can identify those potential and kind of flag them up higher up the chain, and that's when you say we've already got one. I spoke to him earlier for the Vox Pops we did. He was a level 1 a couple of years ago. He's a level 3 now, and he's been put forward for a C licence.
He's been put forward for a C licence on the basis of the requirements for the IHF, which are, let's get these new raw people in, get them on the programme, let them see. So the part of that is that they will do various seminars with the IHF, and also people that's done World Championships, and it just gets them in that mindset of what it needs to be an IHF official. And us as a section, we can help tap into that, like you say, by having our top officials integrate with them at this conference and give them advice and pointers.
Yeah. Last couple of things from this one. Obviously, you mentioned the IIHF, but internally for the development pathway, we've also this year instituted for the top levels, rather than having levels 5, 6, 7, you've got the Premier Group, which is elite and NIHL national, kind of as one big group, so you can have that development pathway, whatever you want to call it, moving up and down, backfilling, upfilling, the whole group working together.
I think that was key, Craig, because they both work 4-man systems, so the procedures are all the same. There is still a big stepping stone for officials to jump up to that top level, but I think integrating them in with that core group means that, just like what we said, they're speaking to their peers, they're getting advice from them, and it breeds competition as well. Mm-hmm. You know, and we could maybe be missing somebody that's got a great career, but because they're still at that lower level, but with collecting that group together and making it a Premier Group, it might come to fruit that there's officials there that actually are well capable of doing the higher league.
Yeah, and from the referee section as a whole, as I say, you've just a few months into the referee chief role, but you've been part of the management for a while. The referee section continues to evolve and grow and develop, and it's heading the right way.
100%. As I said, coming out of COVID, it was a bit of a sticky patch. We've recruited, we've got some good new management team, we've got some assigners. We held a course this morning on recruiting mentors, instructors, performance coaches, all to strive and help the section push forward and help all the officials that are coming in and help them develop their potential. The management team will believe that we've got a good programme, so it's pushing that forward. Hopefully, you know, people can see the improvements we've got. We've started with the courses, we've got more courses, recruitment's going well. It's just now about nurturing that and making sure that we push the officials.
Excellent. It's been great to be here as always. Well done on the event, and good luck with the season when it comes.
Great stuff. Thank you very much.